Good morning, friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today, Mimi and I are going to spend the day in the garden. The Creekside Signature Experience is, oh my gosh, it is rapidly approaching, and we are putting the final details on the gardens. Those little details that just make a difference. The gardens look amazing. We are definitely prepared, but this perfectionist wants everything to look just right for our guests that are traveling all over the country, North America really, because we've got folks from Canada, we've got folks from out west, we've got people all over literally the country coming to spend the day with us at the Creekside Signature Experience. They're going to be all up in my gardens. They are going to be here up close, personal, touching everything. And so again, I want things to look really nice for our guests. Maybe it's the Southern hospitality, maybe it's the perfectionist. I don't know. Anyway, Mimi is all up in it with me, and so she's gonna be joining us here in a little bit. We're trying to beat the sun because it is mid-June in North Carolina, and it gets really steamy when the sun comes up. Yesterday, Mimi and I, we were over at the Dahlia Garden taking care of that. Then once we finished filming that, we came over here and we're just putting all those little fine touches on the garden right here between the forest pansy bed and the Emperor One bed. So I'm going to show you what we did yesterday. We did not get finished because it was like 4 o'clock. We were in the full sun and we were done and we were tired. We said we're going to come back tomorrow morning and get it done. So walk you through what we are doing. So what we were really focusing on, like I said, I'm trying to play like kind of like zone offense, if you want to call it that. So yesterday we were really focusing on the Emperor One bed and the forest pansy bed, because when folks come for the dinner, this is where they're going to come in. They're going to come in through here. We're going to have pictures together at the arch, and then they're going to go on through to the patio and the backyard and do self-guided tours of the entire gardens. So I had Mimi and Cece come over the other day, and I was like, just tell me everything that you think that we need to do, right? And I really felt like in this Emperor One bed, I have lots of plants and structure, but I felt like I was lacking like some pops of color. So what we did is we decided to put in some caladiums, because caladiums in North Carolina in June and July, August thrive. So here we have, absolutely, this is the Scarlet Flame. Is she not gorgeous? We got these 3 planted in here. There's the 4th one, and then we've got more to plant this morning on down through there. So we put in the Scarlet Flame. Just, it can take the full sun. It will love it. So bringing in that color all through here. And then I'm going to plant today, add some more to that hay rack, window box, whatever you want to call it, here on the garden shed. We'll talk about that more later. So that color will continue all the way through. We also put in some of the Star Diva pink scavola in here between the lemon coral sedum. It just felt a little barren, and so Cece had the great idea. She said, put some of the Star Diva in here. So that is what we did. We got those planted yesterday. We have, at the time of filming, we have a little bit over a week for these guys to kind of flush out and fill in. And so they are there between the lemon coral sedum. Then we also grabbed some sun patience. You know me, I love the sun patience. And I think this is vivid purple. I don't know, y'all, the compact, I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's gorgeous. How about that? It is that gorgeous dark foliage, hot pink flowers on it. And I love it right here between both the barberry and then of course that lemon coral with those bright chartreuse colors. And it is going to be really nice. Again, hopefully in the next week, they're really going to fill out. And even if they don't, even if they're just like this, it's okay. But I wanted to have them so that they look like one huge mass planting, and that you don't see the individual plants. I know some of y'all are going to see, yes, the rose next door, she has gotten some black spot. Grace in gardening, my friends, grace in gardening. Overall, though, she looks really good. We might actually have some blooms because I've got buds up there, so she's got tons of new growth on her. So hopefully we'll have some flowers by next week. So that's what we did here. And we also, I'm going to flip around here for you. We put 2 of the compact, whatever they are, the sun patients back here to fill in, really just trying to bulk up this area with any kind of holes that are there. We're kind of constantly deadheading the Boom Chocolata. This one was already done. So the other day I went ahead and deadheaded her. These 2 still have a couple of flowers on them. The honeybees are loving them. But as we see those stems that are completely done blooming, we are deadheading them, just like we did this one over here. Now on this side of the Emperor one, I have the new Agastaki that's going to be released next year in 2026 from Proven Winners. This is the annual. This is the name just went out of my head. I'll figure it out. But it is that annual Agastaki that they're releasing. So I had some of the salvias in here. I had 3 salvias, and while we were at the beach, they just struggled. And so what we did is we went ahead and just completely like deadheaded them, cut them back, and then I'm bulking it up with one of my favorites, the Angel Face. This is the super white Angelonia. And so to bring in some white in this bed will be really fun. The supers get nice and big, so they'll fill in. If the salvias pop back up, it'll be great because it'll be a huge just mass planting right here. But we've got several of those, 5 of those total of that Angel Face super white Angelonia. Gorgeous white flowers that the pollinators absolutely love. So that's kind of what we've done, laid out in the Emperor 1 bed. And then we're going to come over here to the Forest Pansy bed. And I had found the other, couple of weeks ago, I love balloon flowers. I just think they are the coolest thing ever. And so I have white and I have the blue, purple, whichever one they want to call it. And I found the pink, the pale pink. So we added 3 of the balloon flowers in here. So you can see that that was the pale pink. The blues are already blooming. Then this is that other pink, and then there is a white. So we added those in there. And then, you know, Mimi, she is like the queen of like containers in the shade garden and displaying them in fun ways. So she and I, oh my gosh, it was towards the end of the day. So physically we were done, but mentally we were still having lots of fun. And so we kind of rearranged, tweaked my little display of containers that have petite flowers in them, petite perennials in here. And so this is the little area we spent so much time on. So we have all the pots right here, and they're sitting on stones to raise them up. So we've got like the mini hostas. So I had the mini hostas already in here, had the pulmonaria in here. We turned it because we need it to grow this way. So we're letting it fill in this way. Next week, when the Signature Experience is like here, then we'll make sure everybody's facing the best way, their best face forward. And then Mimi went and purged from her garden. She had a variegated aspidistra in this container, which is the exact same unique stone. These unique stone pieces are the exact same. They're a little bit, I think, different color, but they're the same pieces. And then she had a euchera that we put in my Wakefield pot that I already had. So beautiful color contrast on that. Absolutely love it. We had to trim back very selectively my Lady in Red Fern because, oh my gosh, she's a beautiful beast. Loves this spot. And also, I have to, just a side note, look at Wee Bit Innocent. Is that not gorgeous? Planted this as a court probably around this time last year. It is a very petite hydrangea, but those nice soft colors with those massive heads, love it. So we did that as well. We did a little fine tuning, a little tweaking, a little moving, moved the Japanese maple tree, that pot, so you could see it a little bit more. Again, Lady in Red was just, man, having lots of fun. So we kind of moved that over a little bit. So what we're going to do today is we're going to plant these guys. I'm going to plant the this hay rack with that same caladium. So we're going to use that Scarlet Flame caladium. But in this container, we have the osteos. This was the Horizon Sunset, and osteos for me in the heat of the summer, they stop blooming. So they'll just stay green. I absolutely could leave this, but I'm not gonna have any flowers during the heat of the summer, and then when the fall comes, they'll begin blooming again. And I just treat them as spring, early summer annuals. So I don't want just a green blob right here. So I'm gonna take those out, and we're gonna put in 2 big, gorgeous scarlet flame caladiums, and then we're gonna put some mahogany sweet potato vine to trail out of there. Gorgeous combination. So we're gonna get those planted. Then, as we were coming over here, and I was getting everybody's opinion, first of all, gardenias, full bloom, smell unbelievable. I'm so glad that they're in full bloom for the event, because everybody's going to walk by. It's going to be in the evening. They're going to smell amazing. It's great. So another thing is, we had talked about that with the roses in this bed, I didn't want to put a lot of annuals in here because I didn't want to impede the growth of the roses. But it looked really kind of naked for the event. Now, if we weren't having the event, I would not worry about this. But again, we're having this event where I've got 70-something people coming and like all up on top of this. So we're repeating with the Stardiva Pink and that Lemon Coral Sedum just across the front. That's all I wanted. I just want it straight across the front. I've got a deadhead baby Desdemona. And then Desdemona, big Desdemona, I think she is going to be in bloom because we've got our first, flower here. There's buds all over the place. So fingers crossed, saying a prayer that she will be in bloom next week. So we're going to get those planted. Won't take very long. Just pop those in the ground. And then we're going to come over here and do a little bit of love on this flower bed. Not a whole lot. So I have in here, this is Scentlandia, the green tall in the back. And Scentlandia is a native shrub, but with that, she spreads like crazy. She sends runners everywhere. And so this tub has runners that I pulled that would be great like assets to put out in the garden somewhere else. So we're going to take this tub and I'm going to go plant these way down by the creek. That way, hopefully they'll take off, be really happy, and they can naturalize as much as they want to. Oh, my alarm's going off. Mimi's here. And so we're going to get those planted. Also, what we need to do is come in here and deadhead our phlox. So this is that early opening act phlox. And so you can see where it's finished blooming. We're going to deadhead that. So we're going to clean that up a little bit. I've got a couple little weeds back there. I've got some salvia that needs to be cleaned up. So just going to do a little neat and tidy. Of course, there are some weeds. We have gotten so much rain the last 2 weeks or so. And then we're going to get the weeds out and then put a nice little layer of the mulch down. So really just get that fine tuning on this flower bed and give a little bit of love to the bed. So we're going to race the sun. Our goal is to be done by lunchtime. So without further ado, I'm going to get off of here and Mimi and I are going to get started. So we're just going to kind of film as we work, and then I will meet you back here in just a couple of minutes. Video time, not real time. A couple of minutes, and then I will walk you through so you can see the final product. Oh my gosh. Before I do that though, phenomenal lavender. One plant, y'all. She's phenomenal. She's going to be in full bloom. She smells amazing. The bees are all over her. Cannot believe this plant. Love phenomenal lavender. friends, we got the project done before lunch. Yay for Mimi and I. I tell you, after the 2 days that we have been working, this felt like a breeze, but man, those little touches are going to go a long way for our sweet guest at the Creekside Signature Experience. So let's walk through and let's just kind of show everything. You notice I'm starting here in the shade because the sun is up and it's quite a warm, toasty day. I've got my little hanky here to be my little sweat mop. So since we're standing right here, we'll go ahead and do the hay rack that is right here. So y'all, I am keeping it simple, sweetie. You do not have to be super complicated to make a big impact. 2 of the Heart to Heart Scarlet Flame Caladiums. These were the 8-inch containers because that's what we have. And then 2 of the Sweet Caroline Mahogany Sweet Potato Vine. I just love that sweet little heart shape. So I like how they complement each other. And then I went with that one that has a little bit more of those red undertones than just like that jet black. So I thought that would be really nice. They will take off. And of course I used the little trick because these are such full plants to go ahead and put the soil in the container, empty out the container, the plants from the containers, put the containers in, pack the soil around there, add the fertilizer and all that to it, and then you literally just slip them in so that way you're not messing up any of your foliage or your plants. You don't get dirt on the plants. You don't worry about breaking a stem. It just works so easy, especially when these plants are really full and or if you're putting a bunch of plants in a container. So I love doing that and that works. All I have to do is just keep that water on it, of course, because I did use the Biotone, that continuous release fertilizer. These are both like very low maintenance, no fuss plants. They're not divas at all. As long as you keep the water on them, that will be the thing, because if you've grown sweet potato vine, you know how aggressive those root systems can be, and putting 2 in there, this is an example of planting for instant impact, right? Not necessarily for longevity. Probably what I'll have to do at some point in this season is maybe take one of those sweet potato vines out, because otherwise I will not be able to keep the water on this container. It is currently in the shade. The sun is coming over the garden shed, but this gets hot, intense, all afternoon sun. I would say from maybe noon to 1 all the way down to sunset. So definitely a full sun container. That is what's great about both of these plants. Very, very versatile in their sun requirements. Basically can do sun or shade. And then, yeah, so the Emperor One Bed, she is quote done. There's nothing else that we really have to do in here other than, you know, just kind of keeping an eye. There may be, as we go through the week, a little bit of deadheading, making sure that everybody has the water that they need. But yeah, I mean, their fertilizer's done. The plants are in the ground. Didn't really have to do any mulch because we had mulched, Jerry and I had mulched this really well when we planted the pufferfish. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of sit back, relax, and watch this just be maintained. Loving that we have that nice pop of white right there with those angelonias, those angel face super whites. Those are great. There is a super white and there is a super blue, which are perfect for landscape applications when you need some height. They're just like the other angel faces. They're just those extra large, right? They're just those nice, big, super-sized plants that do really well. And then, yeah, caladiums are in. Everybody is nice and tucked in, having that nice pop of color right there. Looks fantastic. Love that. And to give you kind of the perspective when you walk into the space, right? Give you an idea. So turned out to have lots of pink. Mama was asking me yesterday, she said, did you plan that? And I was like, well, no, it just happened. So, you know, different shades of pink. You've got the pink over here with the caladium and the star divas and the sun patience. You've got Let's Dance Blue Jangles, which is pink. You've got that. You've got the Wee Bit Innocent, which is another beautiful, nice light shade of pink there. Of course, the Virtuoso Pinkerific Dahlias there. Eye travels up, it grabs on to the window basket, and Then coming around, I love then how it picks up, even though they're not pink, they're in that purple, that same kind of color family with the Mini Vista plum veined petunias are over there. So Jerry and I, as soon as we get off the video, what we're gonna do is this pathway head right here has been a problem almost since we put it in, because not knowing this, right? When you do projects, you don't always know exactly how the water is gonna flow. But when we get these heavy downpours, and we are notorious for getting heavy downpours, what happens is, because of just the mass of water that just comes down, it will overflow. You can see some of the mulch that's come over. It'll overflow here, come across, and then go down here, and you can see how much it has washed out along the edging right there. So you're not supposed to see any of that. Like, all of that is supposed to be up close to the edging, and so then it travels around, and it has just, I mean, over and over again washed out. So I have pulled the mulch back, and it just keeps washing. So we're going to go get some decorative stone, very similar to this, but a bigger size. So not huge. I mean, it'll be nice and pleasant to walk with, but that the water, when it comes, it will just go over and either go down and trickle between it or flow over the rocks. So that way we can eliminate that wash, because you can see the flagstone is completely exposed, which it has not been. So we're getting ready to go do that right now here in a second. And we're also gonna grab some more flagstone, because I need to finish the path up at the chicken coop in the kind of new terrace garden. Yesterday also, Mimi and I were having fun, and I had this pedestal from a bird bath. The top of the bird bath broke, but the pedestal is great. And so I was like, man, this is a perfect pedestal to put something on top of it. So not that this will always stay here, but it certainly is cute right now. So that cute little unique stone fox is sitting on top of there. So sweet. So love that. Just thought I would show that to you. And then last but not least, the bed that we did over here. I'm telling you, just those little bit, it took us about total 15 minutes to do. Just some weeding, some light deadheading of some things, and then it was about 5 bags of the Daddy Peat, that soil enhancer, which is what we use for the mulch, and just dressing it up, and it just makes everything look so much better, right? I mean, it really does just make that bed pop. So Mimi came in here for me, went ahead and deadheaded the phlox. Didn't cut it all the way back down to the ground. I mean, it's still 12, 18 inches tall, so there you go on that, but just cleaned it up some. Of course, you can see some of the blooms are still there. This is the new bobblehead alliums, and you can see what an absolute magnet it is for the honeybees and the bumblebees. Alliums are such a great pollinator attractor. So that looks great. I took just a couple of the limbs off of the top of the Scentlandia because it was starting to kind of impede. You could see where it was kind of messing with the Silver Falls there. Deadheaded the peony, cleaned up a little bit of the salvia. Some of the salvia needed to be deadheaded, but this is that big sky salvia. Really large salvia. Does great. I mean, beautiful blue blooms. Have been blooming for quite a while now. So those are doing well. Yeah, and then just filling in with the mulch, right? Just tying it in, keeping it clean, and there you go. So I do need to bring, oh yeah, let me tell you this. So I do need to get the blower out. Forgot to do that. So we'll clean up our mess. And then of course, the lemon coral and the Stardiva pink right there. I found in my closet, I had quote forgotten about my sweet little yard art that I got from Rusty Sparrow. This is a great Etsy shop for rusty yard art. It's a mother-daughter. It's a European country, forgive me. I'll link their store, and so they have such sweet yard art. So there's the butterflies and the cone flowers, the daisies, whatever, and then these sweet flowers that we put at the base of the rain gauge. So yeah, all that is looking good. Just keep it watered. I do think we're getting ready to go into yet another rain spell. I was watching the weather last night, and they're like, yeah, for the next 7 days, it's gonna be in the 90s with thunderstorms every afternoon. Welcome to the summer in the South, my friends. But everything is popping. We are going to do a big, huge garden tour that will come out. I don't even know what days these videos are being published, but it'll be coming soon. So we are going to do a massive garden tour so you can see up close everything that is blooming, because my gosh, it is looking fabulous around here. So the little details continue, getting ready for our signature experience. We are so excited to welcome our guests. So if you're coming, we're working hard, y'all. We're going to get everything just right for you. Can't wait to see you. So if you have found this fun, informative, inspirational, we would love it if you would like and subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week. As always, y'all have an amazing day. We're going to go get some rock and some lunch and have a fun little lunch date out, a little business trip date all rolled up into one. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.